Hello, everybody. This is Josh, and today we continue Little York in this episode number 6. No mods and very little added assets. And well, the last thing that we did for our little city, Little York, was to create this really nice and extensive tram line. And thankfully, we are seeing that it's being used very well. Most of the tram vehicles are used almost to 50%. So we could decrease this a little bit or not. I think we're fine for right now. We also created our forestry area, which is growing very nicely. And right now we are outputting a good amount of forestry products, and we have yet to open any of the factories, so that's what we're gonna do today. And we are also taking a look at our little park here, Hickory Hill. That's looking really well, really nice, at least on this part. We need to do something on this side, but I think not right now. One of the things that I might be thinking of doing is to just elevating or even tunneling this part of the expressway in the future, not on this episode, so that we can extend our park on this side and on this side of the expressway. That way we can extend it and we can add some really nice housing on this side and on this side. I think it's gonna look really, really nice. Everything's working really nice. Our exit is working really nice. Same thing here. And our other suburb, everything is working really well, really nice too. These people are complaining about garbage. As always, we need to look at the electricity that we are generating. We might need to increase this to add an extra power plant. Water, let's see the budget. We are at 95, so we do have to both get some water and electricity buildings as well as garbage. I think we're doing a little bit well in terms of our budget. I think it's time to start investing. Same thing with education. We need to work on that. And traffic, again, traffic is not bad at all. And as well, we need to start working on our Central Park, but we're gonna call the Central Park for Little York. But that's later, whenever we start moving all this to another area. We have these 4 plots of land. We will not unlock one in Grand City, but we will unlock another one in Big City. And honestly, I think that I do wanna get this one. I think it's gonna work. It's gonna work fine. At least for now. I guess we're doing fine in pollution, transport, everything. I think we are doing fine. I guess, once things become available for the harbor, I think this would also be a nice place to put a harbor here. And later on one for cargo on this side. But otherwise we're fine. Let's take a look at the post office. We might need a one or two more, but we're doing fine for now. And again, we have no access to the airport yet. That's not gonna come right now. But we do have the blimp, which I don't think it's that required right now. So we're almost at the point where we can get to Big City and get this other square. And yes, I've been trying to keep this from being used. You know, I would like to make it a park, but at the same time it might be a little bit cumbersome to work with that. One of the issues is that if we want to use this exit to the expressway, we're gonna have to start tearing down a lot of stuff here. We can try to have another exit here, but it's too close to this one, and that's an oversight on my part. The other thing that we can do is unlock this other square, but again, I don't want to do that. I think maybe for now we might actually want to unlock either this, or this, but we'll see. We do need more residential, so I think I'm gonna zone a little bit more here. Making sure that there's no water. There is, and at least for now. If noise gets to be a problem, we will update this, upgrade it to the highway with sound barriers, as we can see here. Bad on this one, but I think we are fine for now. We are getting more complaints about garbage, so I think that we are gonna get another of these recycling centers. Let's see where we can put it. Make sure that we grab the right one, and let's see, we can do only one, which is gonna raise our capacity to handle garbage to 120 units, 120,000 units, and we need 166. So let's do another one, and we should be getting to 144. So we need another one for now, but I think that's gonna slow down the increase or the filling of this one. I'm just gonna move it here, do this here, and just for the sake of it, add the extra one. That's gonna take us to 168. That's gonna be just on the edge, and it's just gonna work barely enough to stop this from overfilling for now. And I think the next thing that we can do is to create another little area here, because we have our main area. And let's make sure that we zone this accordingly. There is somebody complaining here about citizens are sick. I don't think that it's, although it might be for the noise, I don't think so. One of the things that I do or that I started doing, like I mentioned on the other episode, to avoid noise a little bit, is to leave a space in the middle where we can plant trees, and trees are really good at dampening the noise. This one, I don't know what's happening. Maybe there's a need for another. But we're fine with medical centers, at least for now. So I think we are good. One of the things that we also need to do is to move this pretty soon to this side. Let's see what the issue is here. So now we need to change the route, because now they're getting to the polluted water, so it's not as effective, as we can see, as the other ones. So that's also another thing that we need to deal with. But first, let's deal with electricity. Now we have this one, the solar updraft tower, and we have the geothermal power plant. And I think for right now, we are gonna do the geothermal power plant. It's not that expensive and it's gonna work really well here for now. And in terms of water, we're gonna start doing the eco water outlet again, at least for right now. And we're gonna get more water here. So now we can lower this maybe to 95. We should be fine for right now. And this one we can do 90 more than likely. It's fine. I'm just gonna add, once you start adding the eco-friendly wastewater buildings, they are gonna allow you to treat less water. You know, they're more expensive, they cost more per month, and it's gonna be less water that you're gonna be able to treat. So that's one of the downsides of getting them at this point. One of the other things that we can do when this is open, we can put one of these here, and maybe it's gonna help us a lot with this. So now we got to big city. We reached a population of 13,000. We have a little bit more things open. The crematorium, more water treatment. Now we have the large water tower, which are water towers that I actually like to put in here, and a lot of metro stations and train stations. So the first thing that we need to check is to see once again where we want to buy our new square. Like I was saying, I do want this one because it has the, not the plane, but the ship connections. But this one has less area for building. This one has a bit more, but no ship connection. This one has a little bit less. And less and less. And so I think that we're gonna wait for right now. We don't need to work on it right now. So again, we have our electricity taken care of, water, and garbage, at least again for right now. We have issues with this. So let me work on this really quick and I'll be back. well, we are back. We saw a really nice trip in one of these fishing boats. Everything looked really, really nice. So we have a prison, and I don't think we need it as of right now. What I do think we can do is add an extra police department in this area, and I think we're gonna put it here, at least for right now. We also, I don't think we have a need for a police helicopter depot at the moment. And the next thing that I will do right now is to create another little area here, another little neighborhood. I think this is gonna be perfect. So let's get started, because I believe that it's gonna be a very important one. The first thing that I kind of want to do is to create a road that's gonna go around this area. I think this should be good. And this is going to determine how we keep on doing the rest of our area. Unfortunately, I think it's going to work really well. So let's start putting this together. That looks well on that one. Just remember that there's no need to make this perfect. Perfection doesn't mean that it's gonna work better or worse. But at least try to make it consistent. If it's consistent, it's gonna look a whole lot better. And again, when we do curves, it's just gonna be difficult to make things perfect either way. There's a lot of variables that that have to do with this, and I also think that it's sometimes a lot of worries to make it look perfect when it shouldn't. It just shouldn't. There's no reason for it. And let me see what I can come up here, and we'll be right back. Well, I think we did a pretty good job. I tried to modify a little bit of things here. Like I try to do here, instead of doing really rough corners like this, I try to do smooth ones. Try to create, little more intricacies in this one. A different road, a more curved approach, a little cul-de-sac. Maybe we can make this a little bit better. There you go. But overall, I think we did a really good job. One of the things that I want to do right now is create one stop for the tram here, another one here, and since there's a lot of space here, because this is gonna be something else in a little bit, I'm gonna create a stop here and a stop here, and people can go from here. They can cross the street, and if we put enough roads, enough walking paths, they should be able to get to wherever they want to go. And at least in this side we can do it like this. And then later we can finish and put more stuff here. So we have water, we have electricity once we connect more stuff here. And let's just see what type of policies can apply here. I think the first one that I want to do, and this one I want to do citywide, is the high-tech housing. I think that's one of the important ones. It's gonna cost us a little bit of money, but I think we should be fine. And that's it for right now. And at least in this one, in this little neighborhood, we can do free Wi-Fi, we can do high-rise ban, and encourage biking. This we can apply after we make sure that every single road that's residential or commercial, more or less, is or has a biking lane in the road. And another one that I just realized here that we're gonna do citywide is the lightning rods. That avoids buildings from getting burned up because of the lightning whenever there's a storm. I actually like the way this looks, so we should be fine. I will also like to add the self-sufficient buildings here. And I think that should be it for right now. So let's start zoning a lot of this area. And let's see if we can place an elementary school here. There's gonna be enough space to put a let's put it here, a high school there. We can fit where can we put it? Just pause a little bit, leave this, and we can put our library there. I think it's gonna look really nice. I don't think on this avenue, on this neighborhood, I'm gonna put any commercial. I think I'm still gonna leave it for the avenue area. I think it works. It works a little bit better. They're asking for electricity, but it will be connected pretty soon. We can do another little fire station here. And another, let's put it here, police station. And from the assets that I created, I'm gonna put a little parking lot. And also, we can put a nice park here. So let's take a moment and see how well this little area grows. And well, electricity didn't transfer as fast as we would have liked, but I think our little suburb is growing nicely. I'm gonna zone this a little bit more. This. And we should be fine for right now. One of the things that I wanted to do on this little area was to have a hub. And now that we have access to the inner city bus station, I think this is where I want to put my inner city bus station. We have some other ones too. We have the Metro City Inner City Bus Hub, but again, just like the bus inner city bus hub, but we don't need them right now. We don't have that many people living in our city. I don't think there's a big need for that. Another place where this inner city bus station could be a good place to be located would be here. But you know what? We can do it here. I think it's gonna help this little commercial area, and it can help it here. Let's put it. Let's put it here. Let's pause our game really quick. And so the next thing that we need to do is to change where the lines end up. And we're gonna move this one here. And we're gonna move this here. A lot of times these bus stations help us. This one doesn't have inner city bus station, which means that people from the outside cannot travel on bus to our city. And I think but it helps if you have a couple of lines intersecting a certain location, and it avoids for traffic to get stuck. Not on this road right now because there's not much traffic going that way or coming this way that would do a U-turn. So it's not that bad, but it does help whenever you have a busier and a bigger city. So let's let this go. And because of that, I do think that we should zone this with high density commercial. There's a nice park here. I think we should be fine. And as we can see, everybody started moving to get to this nice bus station, as you can see here. And again, it avoids for people to be standing here. It's, you know, it's a little bit more organized. You know, as you can see, we're already getting. And people that do want to join this line, what they do is they just come out, walk, and just get to this or here, which either way doesn't really matter. So we're already seeing that it's already serviced passengers. And one of the things that I wanted to look at was to look at our lines really quick. So we have the bus lines, we have enough vehicles. I think for right now we're fine. I think it's okay not to increase the number of vehicles on this line. For the orange line, yeah, it's more than adequate. And for the green line, it's also, I think, working almost too well. But I think I'm gonna increase it just to have an extra 2 buses, because all of them are almost full, so I think we should be fine. And last but not least, I want to see the tram line. We still have 15 vehicles. They're being used not to its fullest, so that's good. And I think we are doing fine in terms of public transportation. I do think that we need to have a couple of smaller lines here, picking people up and dropping them off closer to the tram line stop. Let's put power here real quick. But I think this works fine for right now. I think that it shouldn't be a big deal. I think we're fine. I'm glad that people are taking public transportation. I think that's a great thing. And so I think again that on our next episode we can create a smaller line to service Green Square and another line to service Garnet Square. Just one line. I don't want to do back and forth. I think one line is gonna work just fine. As is, I don't think we have issues with traffic here at all. I mean, I think just perfectly fine. And at this point, with this population, it shouldn't be a big deal either way. Traffic should be handled fine. This city is not growing as fast as maybe you're thinking that it should, mainly because I am avoiding zoning for high density residential. So that's basically not allowing the the population to increase dramatically or drastically. Again, I don't think that should be a deal right now. I think we should be fine. The other thing that I was thinking of doing here was adding one of these walls. The unfortunate thing is that it's not an even terrain. So I don't wanna I don't want things to look this way. They don't look that bad, but it also depends which one you wanna choose. And there also lies the problem as to what do you want to do with your walls. What do you want to do here? You know, do you want to have something like this, and then upgrade one here, one, another one. Sometimes the water is too high here. Or maybe you just want to do something like this. That also can work well. Or again, something like this, or like this. And it all depends what you want to do on this. I think I actually like this a lot. With the exception of some little of these curves that are a bit too extreme. See, I think we can get something really nice going on here. Maybe let's take a little bit of time. Hold on. I think that works a little bit better, but we definitely need to fix this a little bit more. Looks really, really nice. Again, I wish this game had in the parks tab, it had a way to put beaches. If you can put a beach in here, I think that would be the perfect thing to do. Not right now because of the situation where the pollution that we have here. But I think overall this works really well. Something like this. Again, this is something that you can always change, you know, it doesn't have to stay that way. And it's always better to keep things changing. Here you go. It looks okay for now. It looks okay. But it helps us put stuff that's here. Like, for example, this fishing pier. But first, let me put the street. Put another one here. And just another one here. And that way we can put this fishing pier here. And the restaurant pier. We cannot put these ones because these actually require to be in the water. And although we can try to change things a little bit, maybe we can put them here. And another fishing pier. Let's make sure that there's water for them. And electricity, which I'm just gonna do it very simple like this, even though I know for sure things are gonna change once we start zoning this area a little bit more. And something that we can do in this area too could be to make it another tourist location as opposed to just having one here. We can have one here. This actually wouldn't be a bad place to put a riding stable. Here or here. Or even here. Can put it there right now. And just for the sake of it, let's dezone this and not add a very little zone here. As you can see, there's already a lot of people riding their bikes. We are gonna make this tourist, and we are gonna add the zoning. And why not? Let's put a little volleyball park in the area. Let's put a parking place here, and I think that's gonna be, well, let's change it. And I think it's gonna looks really nice. We're already getting a lot of people here. As you can see, they are using this stop. And let's pause really quick and see what's going on with the water. We don't have water. It might be because there's not enough power. There you go. It's not enough power. I think for right now, I'm gonna build this solar updraft tower. And we're gonna place it, for now, we're gonna place it, let's place it here. One of the reasons I like this is because it produces a lot of electricity, but it also needs to have sunshine. So when it's night, you know, things don't work that well. Let's make sure that it has water. And so that's one of the drawbacks of this solar plant. It might be an eyesore for some, but I think it works well, especially because we're gonna be producing more than enough electricity, which reminds me that we can lower this to maybe 85. Can do, let's do 80 for now. Let's keep it on the 85. We have more than enough. And water, we should be fine. Okay, we averted that crisis. Let's also try to zone this area first of all. Let's change the terrain a little bit. That way it's not too steep. Okay. Let's put our paths. And since I do want to put some office here, I'm not gonna leave a lot of space like here. We're just gonna do it like this. And we're gonna put low density, high density, and office buildings. And we're gonna leave that for a bit. Let's double check. Our stops are working fine. Let's check this. It's being used a lot. As you can see, this is one of the inner city buses. Really nice bus. So I think our city is working really nice right now. The only other thing that I kind of want to do before we end this episode is just to build another recycling plant center here. That way we have this at least a little bit over the yellow. We have enough electricity, we have enough water. Happiness overall is really, really nice. Let's check. We have enough education. Let's try to build we can build a university here. Let's see. Let's do this Modern Technology Institute, and we're gonna put it here. Again, this is for right now. I really don't want to spend a lot of money creating a big university. And I think this is the alternative for right now. And this is going to help us increase not only our land value, but also the happiness of the citizens, the education. And it's going to work, I think, really, really well. Let's put a little bit of trees here. Fill it up. And just a couple of things. We're doing really well. Things are working really, really well. Traffic is not that bad. I think we need to put another post office here. Let's see if I created. There's a 2x2 plaza. Yeah, this 2x2 plaza should be fine. We need to add a couple more things here. I am doubting whether it was a good idea to leave this here because it's gonna be a main road, but I hope that it's used just barely enough. Again, if you have mods, if you have different assets, especially for roads, you can have a 4-lane road, 4 lanes, 2 and 2. But again, since we want to make sure that people here ride the bikes, we do it this way. And also we're not using that many extra assets. And the other thing that we can do is to upgrade this road in the near future. Moving these couple of things shouldn't be a big deal. This one can move here or some other place, or we can create different parks, or we can actually create a park here. That wouldn't be a bad idea, or maybe here. uh, especially because there's going to be noise here. And it should be fine. I mean, we're having success getting people to come here. Let me just make sure that there's... a sidewalk here. And another one here. It's because the game acts really weird when it comes to keys and all these different things. Otherwise, we do have visitors on the volleyball court. And I think that everything is working really, really well. We kind of neglected this area, but we focus on this. And as you can see, we have more demand for residential. So I think this is where we are gonna end episode 6 of Little York. Again, I think that we did a great job expanding. We added, as you can see, the solar power plant. We added a lot of recycling centers. We created another neighborhood. We moved the fishing from one side to the other, basically, of the other fishing location. We added the inner city bus station. We consolidated 2 bus routes into it. And I think we did pretty well, you know. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, please make sure to leave them in the comments section. As always, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. Until next time.